My name is Madison French. I go to Lakota East High School. I'm class of 2023 and I'm currently undecided.
Madison French, welcome to What's in Your Bag.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, we've never met. This is our first time meeting, and so I need to tell you the story about how it came to be that I contacted you. So we've had girls on the show for season 1, and it went so well. Bailey Jones, who goes to Lipscomb, KK Bransford, who's committed to Notre Dame. They were excellent interviews. So with season 2, we want to continue to have girls on our show. So I was talking to a friend of mine named Kevin McDonald, who coaches at Fairfield, the girls' side. And he told me, he recommended that you would be a great person to interview. So then I reached out to my buddy named Charles Williams. Apparently your sister, I believe, plays in this program for Midwest Takeover. And he also said that you'd be a great person to interview. So thank you for being here. And with What's in Your Bag, what we do, we always ask everyone that comes in, you bring your bag. We're going to talk about your bag in a second. And then you are to have 3 items in your bag. I have no idea what items you brought. Pair of shoes, and then 2 items that represent your journey in life and basketball. And what that does, because I don't know what items you have, it makes the conversation really easy, free-flowing. So I'm excited to learn more about you and your journey. Let's start with your bag.
All right, so this bag that I brought, this is my first AAU bag.
Okay.
I played for Cincy Pride. I played for them for a couple years. It was when I really started getting in the competitive side of basketball. And this is just that was our team bag. I got it in 4th grade. And I always bring it to all my tournaments, and I just that's what I pack my overnight clothes in for all my, still, I do that still.
So this is like your main bag.
Yeah.
And that's funny you say that, because we interviewed Bowen Hardman, one of the star players at Princeton. He said the same thing. He had his bag from AAU, and he said he takes it everywhere, and that's like his go-to bag. Now, so you started playing AAU your 4th grade year? Was that the first time?
I started in 3rd grade.
Okay.
But this was my first I guess real competitive team.
And then who are you playing for currently?
I play for Ohio Elite with Coach Brooks Hall.
Okay, great, excellent. So on your bag there, got your name?
Yeah.
And then we have number 24, which is the number you were in high school. Why 24?
That's the number my dad always was in high school for all of his sports. So me and my sisters just keep it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought maybe there was going to be like a Kobe thing in there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit,
but
more so.
Yeah.
You know, the father. Now you have a couple little tags.
Yeah.
On your bag. What are those?
This is a AAU player card. It's from our state championship or state tournament. And this, I don't know what this one is. This is just a tournament card.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about AAU. For so many players, especially players that are looking to play at the next level, which we're going to talk about. I know you want to play at the next level. AAU is so very important. So talk about your journey, because we're going to talk about your high school journey a little bit, but your journey with AAU. How has AAU basketball benefited you and helped you improve your game?
I think the biggest thing is all the relationships I've made with all the people I've played with or against, because I just feel like those relationships, a lot of people I played AAU with, I now play with in high school, whether it's against or with them. And I feel like that just kind of deepens the chemical bond on the court, and it helps us trust each other more, since I've known all these people from playing them in AAU. And I also feel just the exposure and the experience with the coaches and my team, and just going out of town, and I just feel it's really good setting me up for the future.
And it's always good to get out of your comfort zone. So if you're playing at Lakota East and Coach Wallace is coaching you every single day, it's good to go play with different girls and be coached by different people, which will help you when you get to college.
Yeah.
And so you said again, you're a AU coach. Say the name again.
Brooks Hall.
He played college ball.
Mhm.
Where'd he play?
Not sure.
You're not sure?
No.
You should know this stuff.
Should know.
Is he pretty tall?
Yes.
Yes, I think he played at the University of Dayton. You need to check on that.
Okay.
All right,
That
cool.
sounds right.
Yeah, he did, because I remember him. And I didn't even know that was your AU coach,
Yeah.
but I remember him. He's a very good player. So let's jump into your first item, which needs to be your shoes.
Okay.
So I'm a shoe guy, Madison. So
I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not a big shoe person.
Oh gosh, this is disappointing.
Yeah. Well,
right.
I brought these shoes.
Okay. That's
Then,
some LeBrons.
Yeah, so normally I feel like all my AU seasons I've run through my shoes so hard that like we just have to throw them away. But these are my shoes from middle school. They're my 8th grade year. And I think the thing that's most special about them, like why I brought those, are because like, I don't know, they're still in like kind of good shape. So I've worn those for like all of my like preseason workouts and like stuff. Like I never wear like my like in-season shoes. Like I've worn those like my freshman year for workouts, my sophomore year for workouts, and then like this previous season for workouts.
So you've worn these for a while.
Yeah. So
there's a tremendous amount of grind.
Yes.
In these shoes, and they've held up pretty well.
Yeah, they have.
And whenever somebody brings in their shoes, I always like to look at the bottom and look at the traction and see how they're worn down. And one thing with these shoes, it looks like you've, as you said, you've put a lot of time into your game. So talk with everyone out there, because we have a lot of young people that watch this. Talk about your grind in the off season. What do you do to make yourself a better basketball player?
Well, I just show up to all my things and I work as hard as I can, and I feel like it's really beneficial, and you see a lot of progress from it.
So what type of drills do you work with? A trainer?
Yeah, so I have a trainer. We work on a lot of shooting and ball handling. Her name's Sierra Davis. Yeah. I've been going to her. She's my coach in like 2nd grade. I played for Ronnie Grandison basketball.
Yep.
And I've been going to her since forever, and
And how has she helped you in improving your game? Has she come to you and go, okay, this has to be a focus. We need to get better on ball handling for this coming season. Is that something you guys talk about? So
a lot of it, this previous, like I went to her like when school first started, and we worked on like I had like a little tweak that she made in my shot, and that was like the big focus, because like I don't know, when I was shooting, like my left hand was getting in the way for some reason. It was like making my shot really inconsistent. So that was my biggest focus. And then we also worked on like a pull-up jump shot.
Okay.
So that was probably my biggest focus this offseason.
So describe your game. So you're playing for Lakota East. Describe, if someone was to come watch you play, what would they see when they watch Madison French on the court?
Like, I don't know. What do you mean?
Just describe your game. Well, let me say this. So you guys already started your season.
Yeah.
I know you lost game 1.
Yeah.
But you played 28 minutes and had 19 points.
Yeah.
Right? So what'd you do that game to, I think you had 4 3-pointers? Is that correct?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Yeah. I checked it.
Okay.
I checked the stats.
Yeah.
So what do people see when they watch you play and they walk away and they say, this is what she does very well?
Well, a lot of our like offense at Lakota East is a lot of ball screens. So my coach has me coming off like ball screens most of the time, which is where I either like find gaps in the defense that I like to like attack, and then that's where we like get our kickouts for our shooters and like corners, or like at the top of the key. Or also, normally like when you come off the ball screen, it's like there's some little gaps where you can just get in for a layup.
So that's one of your strong suits. You like to attack and get to the basket.
Yes.
I love that. Because a lot of players sometimes just like to hover around a 3-point line and fire it up. But you actually like to get down there, and I love that. Are you pretty good with finishing around the basket?
I mean, I think so, yeah.
That's good. I like that. Coach Wallace, your coach.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about him and how he's helped improve your game.
Coach Wallace he's made me very, like, he's like toughened me up a lot. It's like my freshman year coming, and I was the only freshman on the team. And I had to learn a lot, because all the other girls, they were like way ahead of me, since I was still in middle school while they were still learning, and they were like learning and like making progress, and it's a big jump from middle school to high school. So I think the biggest thing is he like really toughened me up, and like he like showed me like what the game is really about, and like he just like, I don't know, yeah.
So how did that feel as a freshman? You played varsity.
Yeah.
I mean, how'd that feel, just being thrown kind of into that? Because some freshmen aren't used to that. They get really nervous. I'm sure you were nervous when you first started, but obviously you're accustomed to it now. But how was it when you initially started as a freshman?
I was really nervous at first, but it was really fun. It was really good to experience. I feel like it helped me a lot just playing with everybody that was so much older than me. Because, like, I'm pretty young for my grade. So, like, a young freshman coming in and playing against, like, 18-year-olds. It was a lot different for me than anything I've ever experienced. And I was really excited, and I loved it. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, and have you learned a lot about leadership? Because usually when you're a freshman on varsity, everyone else is older. So you're around seniors and some cases juniors that are leaders, and you pick up different leadership qualities. So when you become a junior like you are and getting ready for next year, you have to be a leader.
Yeah.
So what have you learned along the way, and how do you lead?
I think my biggest way that I lead is through communication. I like to talk a lot, and I feel like I'm a pretty good leader. I've picked up a lot of tips from while I've been playing. I also my coach calls it leading by example. So if there's something that needs to be done, you can't just tell someone to do it. You have to do it yourself too. And I feel like that's a big thing.
Absolutely. Now, all the girls in your team, do you know? So like we talked about you being number 24.
Yeah.
Do you know every girl on your team's jersey number?
I think for the most part.
Okay. Do you know who wears number 44?
On my team?
She's a sophomore.
Selena Blunt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know I know her?
I did not.
So her father played basketball for?
Some NBA team.
Before that, he played
I
basketball for the University of Cincinnati.
Okay.
He played on the Final Four team and also the Elite Eight.
With you?
No, he's older than me.
Okay.
He's old. I'm younger than Corey if he's watching. CB, I'm younger. He's what we call an OG, right? So played basketball for the Bearcats. He went on to play in the NBA for 11 seasons, played with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and just a whole bunch of great players. And so I reached out to Corey, and we called Selena, and I asked her to describe you and talk about you. And she spoke very highly of you. But one thing she said, I think, that hit home was, she said, one, you're a great leader. She said, you're very self-aware. And she goes, you hate losing.
I hate losing.
Let's talk about that, because often here, some people say, coaches say, I want a player that hates to lose more than loving to win. You absolutely hate losing. Let's talk about that a little bit.
I feel like just when I grew up, I've grown up and my parents are super competitive. My siblings all really competitive, and I just feel like everything's always a competition with my family, which is kind of just taught me to be you need to always want to win and stuff. And it's when you lose, it's just I don't know, it's kind of just disappointing. It's you just feel like you put in all this work for you just to lose, and it's just really frustrating.
Yeah. Do you often, after a loss, really look at yourself and look inside and say, what can I do better?
Yeah.
And then go back and work at those things?
I do, yes.
And I think when your teammates see that, that's back to leading by example as well.
Yeah.
You're taking it to heart, and you're working on your game. One question, I'm glad I've got you here, because I've been meaning to ask a girl this.
Okay.
So we have LeBron James shoes here.
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of boys, men's basketball, and take anything away from certain men's players? Do you pattern your game after anybody? Or is it mostly girls players or women's players?
I think the only time I really watch boys basketball is if it's I'm watching the high school team, or if I watch it with my dad. I don't really watch it that much though.
You don't watch college, NBA, men's?
When it's on, yeah. I normally watch girls though.
Okay. So who do you pattern your game after? Is there anybody you watch and go, I need to be like that?
I love watching Sam Rogers play. She played at Lakota East. Mm-hmm. I don't know how old I was when she did, but she graduated from Lakota East. She played at UC, and I really like her game a lot.
Okay, so you've taken different things from her game and patterned your game after her. That's good. I like that. Okay, We've got the shoes here. Let's go with the second item. I'll move the shoe over
so the next thing that I brought is this uniform. It's really old.
Wow, okay, it is old.
It's my Upward jersey from 2nd grade when I started playing basketball. It's my first jersey.
This is your first jersey?
Yeah.
Ever?
Ever.
Okay.
It is. 25 is just the random number that was given to me.
Because you wanted 24.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
they gave you one above that.
They did. It was just random though.
So talk about this experience, your first time ever playing basketball. I'm sure did this experience make you fall in love with basketball?
Yeah, so actually before this I was a soccer player.
Okay.
I played soccer since I was 3 and I played for 13 years. And my brother was always into basketball and he was just one day he was like, you should try basketball. And I was like, no, like I don't want to. And it took a little convincing. Then I played and it was just like, I knew that was it. Like I loved it.
What was it about basketball you loved?
I don't know. Like it's just like playing. I just absolutely loved everything about it. I loved my team, my coaches, and it's just like I liked playing against and winning.
Do you remember who your coaches were back then?
I don't remember my first coach. I know my mom coached me 1 year for Upward.
How was that?
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
She said, good.
Yeah.
Good. Give a shout out to your mom. What's your mom's name?
Jessica.
Jessica. So Jessica was an okay coach or good coach?
I don't really remember. I was young.
Okay, we'll say she was a good coach.
Yeah,
then.
she was a good coach.
Very good.
Yeah.
What about your father? Did he help coach teams?
No, he never coached me. He's always been in the stands though.
Okay. And he's had a big impact on basketball.
Sure.
What's his name?
Sean French.
Sean. Okay. And he knows the game pretty well?
Yeah.
Does he? So let me ask you this. Does he talk to you after your games and have conversations about what he saw and you could be a sounding board with him?
Yeah. Every game.
Every game.
Every game. We always talk after.
Okay.
About how the game went and like what he saw that I did and could work on and stuff. He's never like super critical though, which I like. Because I know like a lot of my friends, like they'll get in the cars with their parents and like they'll just get screamed at.
It's like, oh God.
Yeah. My parents have never been like that towards me.
That's refreshing.
Yeah. They're always just super like okay, like you played bad, but it's okay. Like you got it next time. Or like if I play good, they're just like, wow, we're so proud of you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned something, the love for the game when you first started playing in this Upward experience. I often hear about players that play so much that they get burnt out.
Yeah.
And they lose the love for the game. So as we go from this experience, fast forward to right now, you a junior at Lakota East, do you still have that love and that passion? Because, and we're going to talk about this a little bit, I know you want to play college basketball. Is your love and passion still the same as when you first started?
Yeah.
What's prevented you from that burnout, do you think? I
think the biggest thing is like, I think playing soccer helped me a lot because it was a lot of balance and it was like, it wasn't like I was like just basketball. Like I had basketball practice and I had soccer practice and I'd have a basketball game and I have a soccer game. And just a good balance. And I played soccer until I was like freshman year because then it was just too much of a conflict. But I think that's like one of the biggest things that really kept me balanced and kept my love.
Yeah, because sometimes if you do the same thing every single day, 365, just grind, you get burnt out. But when you have something different, like a soccer or baseball for other people, it allows you to shift and let your body and mind go to something else and keep that passion and love.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Let's jump into your next item.
All right. So the last
Was this tough? By the way, was it tough for you to figure out your items?
No.
It was easy. Yeah. You knew. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Last thing I brought is a picture of my family.
Okay, here we go.
It's a really old picture, but it has my mom and my dad and my 2 little sisters and my brother. And the reason I brought this is just because I don't think I'd really be anywhere without them. And if they hadn't have loved and supported me the whole way, I feel like they're a big impact in my life and my basketball life. Yeah,
absolutely. So this is your brother. What's his name?
Kyle.
Kyle. Shout out Kyle. And he's how much older than you?
7 or 8 years.
Okay. Does he come back and watch you play?
Yeah.
Does he break down your game for you too? Does he?
Not as much.
He just tell you, good job, keep it up.
Yeah.
That's good. You need that support there. And then these are this is you?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
I think
See?
I was like 8 in that picture.
You're 8?
Yeah.
Okay. And your 2 sisters? Talk about your 2 sisters here, and they play basketball?
Yeah, so I have 2 little sisters. This one's Elena, and that's Haley.
Okay.
Elena plays soccer and basketball.
Okay.
And Elena
Just
and
like you did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Elena and I, we like to like get very competitive with each other, and like we're really close. But we always we do 1-on-1 in basketball. Okay. And then I also play her in soccer sometimes, but she always beats me in soccer.
All right, so I got to ask you this question. Okay. So my brother, Tony, who lives in Florida, 7 years older than me, when I first started playing basketball, we would play 1-on-1 in the backyard. And he would beat me every single time. But he never took it easy. So if we played a 10 and he won 10-3, those 3 points that I scored, I really had to work for him. Yeah. Nothing was easy. So describe when you and your sister play 1-on-1. I mean, are you going at her like my brother Tony went at me, or are you letting her get a couple buckets here and there? You can tell her.
No, I got to play as hard as I can against her.
Good. And that helps her.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm sure they look up to you.
Yeah. And then my little sister, Haley, she's a dancer, but she also plays basketball. Okay. And we don't play 1-on-1 as much. She doesn't like to lose very much.
Okay. So. It's kind of like you. Yeah. You don't like to lose.
Yeah.
But losing's part of sports and life, right? That's why, Madison, that's why I love sports so much for young people, because you can learn so many great life lessons through sport, right? When you lose, you have to reflect on yourself, look in the mirror, improve. And that happens when you get in the real world. Sometimes things don't go well, and you've got to look at yourself in the mirror and figure it out. That's life, right? But regardless of whatever happens in life or sports, it's always great to have a support system. Yeah. And when when you're in high school and you're playing games, win or lose, they're there for you. Mm-hmm. That must mean a lot, seeing them in the crowd. And now that we're back, I do want to talk about this. Now that we're kind of back to normal and people can be in the stands, what was that like for you going through the pandemic? People couldn't be in the stands, or very few spectators, and just trying to navigate through the pandemic.
I feel like the biggest thing that I was missing, like for me in the stands, was like my grandparents always came to my games, and they weren't able to this year. Mm-hmm. But they always watched on TV, and they would like text me right after the game and tell me good job. So, I mean, not much. It's good seeing friends back in the stands, so it's good to know that like people actually care and like want to see you do good.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about this coming season. Okay. Obviously, you're already in the season, 1 game deep. You have some more games coming up. Your conference, the GMC, obviously a very tough conference. Mason, Princeton are tough teams. You guys will be in the mix, with them. What, as far as your team, what are the expectations for Lakota East this season, and what expectations have you put on yourself to help lead your team?
Our expectations from my coach, or from like just ourselves?
Just a team, from a team standpoint.
So, our biggest goal is to win the GMC. Okay. Which will be tough, but I think we have it in us to do it. I think we have a pretty good lineup, pretty deep. For myself, the goals that I've set is just to keep leading and like set a good example for the rest of my teammates, because I can't let my team down. So yeah.
So before you start a season and you set goals for yourself, how do you go about doing that? Do you figure, okay, it'd be great to average this many points, a game? I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but last season you were first team GMC. Is that correct? Yeah. Third in assist in the GMC. So when you look at those things, how do you set your goals for the following season?
I think my biggest thing is like I just kind of like see how I felt about last season. Like one of my goals this year is to like become a better defender. Okay. Because I felt like last year, like I don't know, everybody told me it didn't seem like it, but I always felt like I was always like getting beat. But so like my biggest thing was I just like need to learn, like I need to stay in front of this person. Like I just kind of worked at it this off season. So I just look at like how I feel from last season and just kind of build off that.
You watch a lot of film
Yeah.
on yourself? How is that to, watch film on yourself? Like you said you felt like, defensively people were beating you.
Yeah.
You're watching the film and you're looking at, I've got to get a better angle here. I got to work on my footwork.
It's really beneficial because, like, in person, like, you can't go back and see what you're doing. And, like, even when you're doing it, you can't, like, see every angle. But, like, when you go back and watch film, it's, like, you can be like, oh, like, now I see this and I didn't see that before. And it's just, like, it's really beneficial. I watch film a lot.
Okay. So you're in your junior year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Of course, you want to set goals for your junior year, and then next season, which will be your senior year. And honestly, you should be thinking about your senior year. Like, you're in season right now, but you're building for next year.
Yeah.
You have 4 seniors currently on the roster. Everybody else is, juniors and sophomores. I think you have a freshman too.
Yeah.
A couple of. So, I mean, you guys should be good next year as well. Have you started thinking about not only next year, what you want to accomplish, but building for beyond that?
Not really.
Or you get kind of, are you like focused in the moment?
Right now I'm just focused on this season.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about college.
Okay.
You're one of the better players in the greater Cincinnati area. You've had several schools offer you. I think I saw on Twitter, Wright State. I saw a picture of you with the Wright State coaches and all that stuff. So, you want to talk about maybe some of the schools that have offered you so far?
Right now, 2 D1. I have Wright State and Purdue Fort Wayne.
Okay.
And I really like both the schools.
Okay.
But I'm not really sure where I want to go yet, and I'm still just kind of looking. I'm gonna wait it out till probably the end of my junior or my last AAU season.
Okay.
And just kind of see what fits me best.
That's smart. So how do you plan to navigate through all the offers you get and then weighing what school you want to go to? Like, what are the factors going to be for you?
I think just, like, going to the campus and, like, just seeing how it feels. Because, like, everybody always says, like, when you know, you know. So it's like, so
your eyes are going to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just building those good relationships with the coaches and, like, just seeing what feels best.
Yeah. And so you said you'll probably make your decision after you get out of your AAU season. And so do you feel like you'll be in a good space going into your senior year? Like, you'll know what school you want to go to, and you can just kind of play free and not really stress about those things? Is that something your family has talked about?
Yeah.
And so what kind of conversations do you guys have as a family in regards to college?
Well, my parents, they're just like, do whatever makes you happy. Like, it doesn't matter, like, what school. As long as you're happy, you can go far or close or whatever. They just really want me to, like, get something out of what I've worked for, and they want to make sure that the school I'm going to is, like, something where I'd actually like to be.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What do you want to do when you get out of college?
Well, like, what job do I want to have?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure yet. I really like sports medicine. Okay. I don't know what in that yet, because I don't really like touching people. So I feel like, I don't want to be like a doctor in that, because, like, it's kind of gross. But I also really like.
I've never heard that, but go ahead.
It's a very opposite. I like civil engineering and architecture.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that? Where'd that come from?
I have no idea. I used to watch, like, HGTV shows with my mom, and I always loved them. So
okay.
I don't know. I really like that.
I find that passion.
Yeah. So I'm not sure yet, but one of those two.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously, your focus right now is on the season.
Yeah.
And preparing for a big season. What if you were to say this coming when this season finishes up? How do you view that and say, if we do this as a team and I do this as an individual, it's success for me? What do those two things look like?
I think for our team, we just need to play together and have fun. Because my coach said it yesterday, like, when we have fun, we're at our best. And I completely agree with that. Because I feel like when we're scrimmaging in practice, like, we're just like, we're doing, like, we're good. And, like, but then when we get into games and, like, when we start, like, stressing, like overthinking everything. That's like when we're like making turnovers and not making shots because we're thinking too much and not just playing. So I think just like playing together, moving the ball, waiting for the open shot, and just like having fun will be the best for us. And for myself, I think just keep leading. I think that'll help a lot. And I also need to have fun when I play and not get too like focused or, well, like obviously you want to focus, but like not like overthink everything and just play because it's just basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and some of the things I like that you've said, you know, you've got to focus in on right now. You seem very, very focused in on the moment.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it sounds like to me that you kind of just let, you know, life guide you. Every person that comes on, I think about their journey and what they've talked about. And I like memorize all of Jay-Z's lyrics and stuff. So I think of a lyric from Jay-Z's song that might relate to that person. So I've listened to your whole story and I thought about a song from Jay-Z. I don't think you've heard the song. I guarantee you haven't heard the song. Jay-Z retired from rap at one point, and then he came back and he released an album called Kingdom Come. And he had a song in there called Beach Chair.
Yeah, never heard it. Never
heard it. Well, you're going to learn about it now.
Okay.
And I love, that's one of my favorite Jay-Z songs ever. But he's got a line in there, and I was thinking about that as you're talking through your journey. And his line in the song is, he goes, I'm Jay every day, no compromise. No compass comes with this life, just eyes. So to map it out, you must look inside. Sure, books can guide you, but your heart defines you. That's pretty deep.
That is.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That I feel like that's you.
Yeah.
You feel the same way?
Yeah.
So I'm good with my J. So I'm gonna make sure you listen. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna make sure you listen. That's gonna be your new song before big games.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it for you after we finish.
Okay.
Madison, I heard they call you Frenchie. Some
Yeah.
people call you Frenchie?
Yeah.
Okay. Frenchie, I'm really glad that you came in. Love the picture of your family and thinking about this jersey here and that passion and that love when you first started, and hopefully that continues all the way through college and whatever college decision you make, and hopefully that love continues in that shoe and talking about that grind. The fact that you've worn this for 3, you think you can wear these next season too before?
I will.
You're going to keep that as a tradition?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I like that, man. And I really appreciate you coming on the show, and I really wish you the best and good luck in basketball and life. Okay? Thanks for being on What's in Your Bag.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Madison. Everyone that comes on the show, they get gift cards, free subs to Penn Station. You like Penn Station?
I love Penn Station.
Is there one close to school?
There is.
You go there?
Yep. I go there before games and get a sub.
Really? Well, we're going to get a bunch of them now. You can take your boyfriend. Yeah. What's his name? Evan?
Yep.
He plays baseball. Committed to IU.
Yep.
Now, is the rumor true that you and Evan play one-on-one?
Yep. We don't need to talk about
this is a sore spot?
We don't need to talk about
Are you? Okay, I need you to beat him one-on-one.
I will.
Okay? He can't keep beating you. And he's a baseball player. Yeah. I need you to step your game up, Madison. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Give Penn Station a shout out.
Shout out to Penn Station.